to be asking your coworkers for money, and like more so you're the supervisor, so there's like a hierarchy thing there at work, and like you're asking the people that are under you to give you money is crazy as hell. Now I'm gonna say that like I'm pretty sure that's some unethical shit. I'm almost positive that that's unethical. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you.
Handle business like a man, so I can't tolerate no disrespect. They just rolling icy wrist, shining mouth, permanently. Pull up, kill shit about my money.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the Pretty Candid podcast channel. I am your lovely host, Marissa H, per usual. Today, though, we are actually going to go ahead and do the Candid Mail. Now, remember, Candid Mail is basically anonymous, right? You send in anything you want to vent about. You need to get it off your chest. You need advice. You just got a story time for us, however it go. Basically, that is the purpose of Candid Mail. So this week, I actually have two. Let's get some claps for that. We appreciate y'all sending in the Candid Mail, okay? Because I didn't know how y'all was going to take it, but it's been going well. So I'm excited. So we have two today. So I'm going to jump right into that. So the title of the email is Mess, Mess, and More Mess. Okay. Dear Marissa, let me tell you about my supervisor. Okay, you cut right into that. She is a whole mess. Like living with her boyfriend, planning to get married, side-eye worthy mess. So here's the tea. Not y'all saying. She used to live in a perfectly reasonable apartment. She let me know that it was $1,300 a month and that everything was fine. She's been able to stay on top of her bills, staying debt-free, supposedly. But her parents all of a sudden get involved and come up on some money and property, and they tell her to buy a house near the property. And she does. Now, her car is always breaking down, and so is her boyfriend's car. When she comes up on some money finally, she decides to buy a new car, but not for herself, for him. Ooh. Now, the drama that she has with her boyfriend a lot of times spills into work. Her boyfriend is calling her nonstops. He has insults, complaints, and a lot of money demands. And then on top of that, she asks me, her employee, for $50. I trusted her thinking, okay, she'll pay me back when she gets paid. That was your first mistake, sound like. 2 weeks go by. I finally text her and say, hey, would you be able to pay me back today? And you know what she does? She Apple Pays me. No thank you, no text back, nothing, nada. I go into work later that evening, and then she comes into work as well, avoiding me as if I'm a stranger and keeping conversation very minimal. Awkward as hell, doesn't even begin to cover that. It gets crazier, though. During those 2 weeks, I find out she's been asking everyone at work for money. Oh, not just our department, people who aren't even nurses or doctors. Oh, so y'all in healthcare. Everyone knows her life story because she shares it, and yet this behavior keeps happening. So here's the thing I want to know from you. Was I wrong for asking for my money back? Is it weird that she asked everyone at work for money? Am I wrong for thinking all of this in her mess is totally inappropriate for work, and should I report her? Signed, Fifi. It's some stuff that's kind of left out. I could tell just by reading it, but we just gonna go with the main meat and potatoes of what you said. Number one, were you wrong for asking for your money back? Absolutely not. Why? I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, I feel like you're wrong for giving her the money. This is your supervisor and you her employee. So I'm going to assume it's a little bit of a pay rate difference, right? So I don't know if you got kids. I don't know if she has kids. You didn't mention that, so I'm going to assume maybe she doesn't. But to be asking your coworkers for money, and like more so you're the supervisor, so there's like a hierarchy thing there at work, and like you're asking the people that are under you to give you money is crazy as hell. Now I'm gonna say that like I'm pretty sure that's some unethical shit. I'm almost positive that that's unethical. However, you did give it to her. I'm gonna say this: she might be having money woes and just really going through it, and she's just trying to get the money where she can. And it sounds like her relationship kind of requires her to have money. It doesn't sound like a good thing. It doesn't sound like a good relationship. But I mean, you ain't wrong for thinking her situation is awkward and weird and like very toxic. But also in the same sense, this is what I be telling people. When people come trying to tell you they like life woes and everything going on and that woe is me and this, that, and third, you got the option not to listen too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know everybody feel like, well, no, we work together. We're in close proximity. I work with people. Should I want to say that? Fuck it. I work with people too in close proximity, and I promise you, I'm missing out on a lot of stories. You want to know why? Because I mind my own, and I don't bother nobody, and I don't let them bother me. You're not finna come bother me, telling me all the stuff you got going on and why life is hard. And so I'm gonna say too, one thing you probably could do to make the situation better for you and her, cause it sounds like you kind of really like you at your wits end, like you talking about reporting her and all of it. What was the other question? Is it weird that she's asking everybody at work for money? Absolutely. That's weird as hell. Again, even if those people are not below her like you are, right? Like that's your supervisor. But even if they are, they're not. That's weird as hell to be going around at work asking people for money. It gives very much broke, which she probably is. You did mention she had to pay for a new car. I don't know if she paid for it in full. I don't know if she's making payments. You didn't say that. But either way it go, it just seems like she's in a very rough spot of her life. She got a man that sound like he using her for money, and he only with her for the game. And then she don't have no money, and she trying to make sure she has it. I don't know. The shit is weird. Now, do I think it's enough for you to report her? I'm going to say you need to talk to God about that. Me personally, I feel like I never want to be the reason why somebody lose their job. I never want to be the reason why. Because let's say this. Let's say you report her. They fire her on the spot. Done. Now, y'all don't have no supervisor for like a long time until they hire another one. Now y'all kind of taking an L, like your department is taking an L because your supervisor not there and y'all don't have no stand-in supervisor or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a two-way thing. Like it could go really good or it could go really bad. And I believe in karma too. And sometimes you just gotta let it work with people and not against you. Like, so I'm gonna say everything that you're saying, I resonate with. I'm in your feelings. I get what you're saying. I think you're correct. Would I report her? I just think that's a very far-fetched. Hopefully you haven't reported her by the time you see this. But yeah, no friend. And honestly, I feel like situations like this, y'all probably be talking about her. Because exactly how you said, you found out during the 2 weeks that she was trying to, you was trying to get her to pay you back. That, she didn't give money out to other people. So it's a lot of wrong. She talking to y'all about her financial problems and her relationship issues and all of that. Y'all talking about her because she broke and asking for money. Like, everybody kind of wrong in this situation. But I don't think it's enough for you to go and report her. Now, I guess the next thing is how she continues to act towards you. Because if she starts to be very because I'm going to be honest, I asked for my money back and you just Apple Pay it back, cool. I don't need you to say nothing else. A thank you would have been nice. Acknowledgement would have been nice. But that's really a signal to you that she never intended on paying you back, babe. She was never gonna pay you back. That had you not asked and you would have let time just go on and you was getting upset, she wasn't gonna pay you back. And she probably was banking on not paying you back. Now, what I would have wanted you to say in this email is she ain't paid back nobody. Wait, did you say that? No, you ain't say that. You just said it's inappropriate. Yeah, I'm going to say this. You could voice something out of concern versus you reporting somebody. That's a little bit more formal. So I would say maybe bring it to somebody above her attention and don't make it sound like it's widespread. Like she's borrowing money from everybody. Like, no, just tell them about your experience, right? Because really, ultimately, you can't focus on how she done did everybody else. That ain't got shit to do with it. You more so care about how she handles you and how now she's kind of standoffish. If she's still standoffish, if she's still giving you the cold shoulder, all of that, because you know she had to pay you back and she probably mad about that, then maybe bring it to somebody's attention, but don't bring up everybody else and what she done did with everybody else. And on top of that, I would make it like you coming from a place of concern. Because when you reporting somebody, it's like, hey, I'm out to get you. Like, boom, like I'm trying to get you. So yeah, that would be my advice, just because I don't know, friend. Reporting is kind of crazy. You kind of giving Karen a little bit. Like, I ain't trying to talk about you, but also, like, report. It's hard to come by jobs. You know what I'm saying? And life is funny. You might end up in a situation and have to borrow some money from a coworker. You don't know. So just, I would bring it to somebody concerned, but to, in this part of it, you were validated in how you feel. You are correct, but let's not report her. Let's come from a place of concern and let it be that. And do not bring up how she was taking money from everybody else. If something else happened with her, write me in and let me know. And tell me if she paid them people back that she brought money from, because I kind of want to know. So thank you, Fifi, for sending in your Candid Mail of the Week. We appreciate you. So let's go ahead and go into our next one. Hey, pretty Candid. Ooh, okay. Hey, pretty Candid. I've been feeling really conflicted with some of the people around me lately. I've grown a lot over the years and very proud of the things I've accomplished and that I'm currently doing. Lately, it does seem like whenever I share good news or show up as my full self, certain friends try to jokingly slight me, or make me feel like I'm too much. At first, I brushed it off, but it's starting to weigh on me now, especially with the current projects that I have coming up. I want to talk to my friends about it and not just family, but it's hard to do so. I love my friends, and being honest, the bond we have plus the history is what I think is making it hard. But I'm really questioning if they really love and care about me the same way back. I don't want to lose people, but I also don't want to keep making myself small just to make them comfortable. Would I be wrong for putting some distance between us? And how do you balance keeping the peace with protecting your energy even from those that you may still love? Sign Zay from that way. Okay, Zay from that way. Damn, I'ma say this. First of all, very proud of you. Want to give claps for you that you are accomplishing a lot of things that you've grown over the years. So let me just say that. Kudos to you. Proud of you for doing that, right? On this tip though, I feel like when it comes to friends and like growth of self, and then plus you add friends to that equation, you won't always get people to understand the new you, to understand your new mannerisms, your new way of living, thinking, mindset, all of that, right? You won't have people that always understand that. Like, hey, this is a reboot for me. I'm starting over. I'm doing something new. This is what I'm on now. With that being said, I wish you would have gave me an example of like jokingly trying to slight you, but I'm gonna just take it for what you said. You gotta pay attention to jokes, and you gotta pay attention to little jokes, little digs, little I'm just playing. You gotta pay attention to that, and it looks like you are, and that's why you feeling the way you feel. And a lot of times, how I do it, I compare. Damn, prior to me popping it and doing all the things that I'm doing now, were you still that jokingly person where sometimes you would slight me or have little digs and it didn't bother me? Were you still that same person? Or is it now that I'm doing what I'm doing, now you got little jokes? I'm just playing friend, or, whatever the case. You're a man, so I don't know how men be doing it. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I will say that you're not wrong for wanting to put some distance between y'all. I am a firm believer in when things get a little chaotic and confusing, and because chaos and confusion doesn't come from God, I take a step back. Just because I need to reevaluate A, me, B, the person or the people and then see the whole situation in totality, right? So I will say you're not wrong for wanting to put some distance between you, but I think it's about how you go about it, right? A lot of times people feel exactly how you feel. I want you to know this too. It's a million and one fucking people feeling exactly how you feel right now because they going through a journey or they figuring stuff out and they don't feel supported by their friends, or they just feel like it's very much the things that are happening in their friendship are like less to be desired, right? Cool. I think the way you go about it is going to determine a lot of things, right? So let's say y'all always spend Fridays together. Y'all always spend Fridays together. It's a ritual with y'all, whatever. And then you kind of like stop showing up. You kind of like, oh, I got this going on, or you making more space and time for you, or the other friends or family who are actually supportive of you, and that you don't have to second guess like you're doing the circle of friends you are now, and you just spending more time with them, right? So I would say when creating the distance, be productive about it. So like, don't create the distance and then you just at home scrolling on your phone. Don't create the distance and like you going out and you like pouring into like everybody else cup but yours, or you starting to be a little destructive. So you just like going to happy hour all the time. You want to smoke all the time. You should be productive about the distance. Also, I believe a conversation is needed. Nobody, and this is what I tell people a lot of times when it comes to friends and miscommunications and stuff, and I just had this happen recently. People cannot read your damn mind. And a lot of reason why people cannot read your damn mind is because A, they don't have that power, and B, they have their own life cycle going on that they're trying to either adjust to, come out on top, whatever the case is. So people don't have time always to like be weighing depth of like how you're feeling and thinking. That's number one. So I believe a conversation, Zay, is needed because they might not even know that you feel like that. And it sounds like it's friends, so I'm assuming it's a friend group maybe. But with that being said, what I do think is, because it could very well be a thing, like let's say you got 2 or 3 people in the friend group that you're talking about that you feel slighted by, and like 2 of them is like, well, hold on, no, like that's not what I want to do. Like, how can I fix this? I didn't want you to feel like that. That's not what I meant. But then you got the third one that's like, you tripping. And so, you know what I'm saying? You could kind of tell in the responses how things are going. And so what I think is, have a conversation. Before you decide to give distance and grace, I think you need to have a conversation. I always believe in addressing how you feel so everybody could be on one accord, right? Because then at that point, after you've addressed how you feel, you put it on the flow, it don't leave no room for confusion. This is how I feel. This is what I think. So what we going to do about it? Because, yeah. And it give them the opportunity to realize, hey, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I did rub you wrong. Maybe I was out of pocket, right? And so I want to say, starting from step 1 and down, step 1, you need to have that conversation. Step 2, after having that conversation, you would want to evaluate how the conversation went, who was really like trying to understand you and not trying to misunderstand you. That's important. People go out of their way to misunderstand you when it comes time to talk about something that's hard or a conflict, a lot of times. So if they're going out of their way to understand you and asking questions and trying to see how you feel and how this began, how long you've been feeling that way and why you didn't, things like that, you can tell that's a person who they might have just been, a little too jokey for you that day. Versus the person that's like, why would you feel that way? And why you ain't been said nothing? Because we could have talked about this a long. That whole aggressive, real energy, when you trying to speak on something that's probably hard for you, that's a red flag. Now, I ain't telling you to diss them and get them out the way, but definitely evaluate that and pay attention just off the strength of, it's a red flag, babe, right? But while creating the distance, like I said, be productive, but take more space just for you, friend. Because in this email, it sounds like you're doing things according to plan. You've grown a lot, So I would say how to keep the balance, keeping the peace, and protecting the energy is, it's tricky. It's tricky. I'm 33 years old, and I can say probably like in the last 5 years, I've learned how to like keep a peace for me and still be able to kind of get out there. You know what I mean? And so, I would say protect yourself by, number one, stop sharing your plans with everybody. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of the tongue and how God will revoke what you speak if you speak it too soon, if you speak it to the wrong people. You know what I mean? Stop sharing good news all the time. And it's not to say, and I know that sounds really wrong. You probably like, no, I wouldn't share my. No, some stuff is just for you and God. Some stuff is just for you and your family and God. You know, like, you don't have to tell everybody everything. And I used to be an oversharer. And so that's really why I'm telling you that. And I know you feel like these my friends, I should be able to say whatever and it shouldn't be a problem. It's a problem. If you feel slighted by the good news that you're sharing that's about your life and it's accomplishments, achievements, things that you've been working towards, and you feel slighted, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes keep the news just for you. Now, every now and again, after you have the conversation, after you evaluate yourself and the friends and the situation, right? And you come to a conclusion and you pray on it, conclusion, right? After that, just move a little differently to keep your peace. Because my main thing that I always tell people is I'm not going to put myself in harm's way, right? And that even mean like getting my feelings hurt. To me, that's harm's way. Getting your feelings hurt can have an effect on your mental. So I'm going to alleviate some of my own stressors that I deal with my friend circle if I feel like I'm being slighted. So not sharing good news all the time, there's nothing wrong with that. Being a little bit more private, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And I'm going to tell you this, they're going to pick up on the fact that you're doing it, especially if it's one or more that's like they really like they coming from a bad place, they finna show you why they a snake. They're going to show you. Once a snake feel like, or somebody that don't mean you know well start to feel like you withholding on them, it's almost like a narcissist. They start to feel like, oh, you trying to keep, why you being like, it agitates their soul, quite literally. So that's number one. So you're going to be able to kind of tell after the conversation and after you reevaluate and you start being more private, you're going to be able to tell that as well. But I would say to keep the balance and protecting your peace and still maintaining a friendship, that's literally it, friend. You just going to have to be a little bit more private. And what I will say, I don't know how old you are, but weed everybody out now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like having a friendship, history, all of these things, and then you got to find out at the very end of crunch time, like, damn, you one of them. You're not for me. You're not supposed to be here. Does that make sense? Like, I would just very much say take your time. Don't rush with your emotion either, because you might be very upset, even sad, and just very much feeling like overwhelmed. Don't lead with emotion full on. Like, trust your intuition and your discernment, but don't just lead with emotion like, I'm mad, so this is just how I'm finna act, or I'm upset. Don't do that either. But yeah, definitely remember, pray on it, number one, is what I'm gonna say. Number two, definitely have a conversation. Communicate how you feel, right? Evaluate the conversation, how it went, yourself. Number one, yourself. Evaluate yourself. Evaluate the friends in the situation. Pray on it again. Pray for a conclusion, though. Like, Lord, help me understand how I'm supposed to move forward, right? Because I can give you a lot of advice, but ultimately you need to pray on it, because he's going to give you that clarity. Again, God don't move in confusion or chaos. So after doing that, and you kind of start pulling back a little bit, not too much, you're going to be able to get a better vision for how your friend circle is and who's supposed to be there and who's not. That's what I would say. That's how I believe you would be able to keep the balance. And then, of course, those who don't fall in line with those that don't align with you no longer after you doing those and taking those actions, that's it. And it might hurt. I ain't gonna tell you it ain't. Might hurt, might get sad. But all in all, it's gonna be worth it. And you're gonna feel better, because what a relief not to have somebody around you that you got to second guess. I literally just got done with this. It wasn't a friend circle, but I had a friend, and I don't have to second guess that situation no more. You want to know why? Because I don't deal with them no more, and I already prayed on it, and I already came to a conclusion. They kind of did some of the work for me, so I didn't have to do too much, and that's it. We done. But know that you are going to figure it out. Don't rack your brain about it either. We got 1,000,001 things going on in the world. Don't nobody want to be stressed out about this. So that would be my advice to you, Zay, from That Way. So, you guys, let me say this. I really do like the Candid mail. I did this more so for you guys to, like I said, give me a story time, vent. You need advice. You just, whatever the case is, right? I made the Pretty Candid podcast as a space for myself to go ahead and express myself and have guests on to express themselves as well. But I feel like those at home, you might have a little stage fright. You might not want to come up here, or you just want to remain anonymous. And so that's why I created the Candid Mail. So I want to say again, big shout out and thank you to all that have participated in my Candid Mail. If you have not participated yet, do not be scared. That man name really ain't Zay from That Way. Fifi ain't really Fifi, but I'm protecting everybody's identity, and I'm making sure that y'all get the answers and hopefully the words of encouragement that you need. You feel me? I also wanted to take a time right before I get done recording to say a big shout out and thank you to Dawa Studios. Y'all make sure to follow them on Instagram, on Facebook at Dawa Hills. They are a great studio. I've been recording here for a while now. Love it down. So thank you guys. Thank you, Dawa, again. Also, Candid Mails are going to drop every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. Now, mind you, this is how, if they keep rolling in, every Wednesday. If they kind of slow down, but I got another segment planned for you guys. I probably just premiered. I probably ain't going to even drop no teasers. I'm going to just premiere it, and y'all going to like it, and it's going to be fun. So, yes, thank you guys for tuning in. If you got to the end of this video, leave a like, drop a comment. Should we talk more about Zay's situation? How would you have went about it? What would you have done? Do y'all think Fifi being a little bit too nosy in that lady business? Or is she just mad about the $50? Like, let's talk about it. Let's get what is that? What they say? I don't know, y'all. Never mind. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week. Bow.
Focus on me.